Hello, I'm Mike Like, and welcome back to Stasis. In the last one, we underwent a pretty horrifying surgery to take this thing out of our spine. Personal Data Tag, PDT. I can never get the acronym right for that. We also just barely missed a creature coming in the room. It savaged that body or eat it or whatever it's doing with it, and didn't bother us though. So he can't run right now because John's not feeling too well, and I can imagine that after having your surgery cut open the way that he did, that he's probably not going to be alright for a little while. So I could get down this elevator now. The reason that we took the PTD, whatever it is, out of our spine was because the monsters that are roaming the ship were using it to move about the ship and bypass the quarantines and whatnot. So they had the survivors remove them to try and restrict the movement of those monsters. The reason I came down here is because I unlocked this door, but it doesn't seem to be anything I can actually do with it.
I don't think this will fit.
Reception chair, okay. Wow, he's gonna take forever to walk around there. Why do you walk all the way up there for? This pathfinding is a little weird. This game's a little rough around the edges in a lot of ways. Come on, guy. Would have been easier, I just walked around there and used it. Personal data detected Elizabeth Swanson. Force field on, force field off, I don't understand. What's the point of doing that? I didn't need it for anything. It doesn't make sense to me. Maybe I bypassed a puzzle that I wasn't aware of. I tend to do that because I explore a lot. I don't know. Maybe the puzzle, they didn't go through with the puzzle in the game. I don't know. I honestly do not know. So now we can get on this elevator. The reason we're getting on this elevator is because our daughter is supposedly 2 decks down, I think. Oh, even in the loading screen, you can see the dust going past. There's a lot of blood in that elevator.
A biological quarantine has been initiated.
Just initiated? Should have been initiated a long time ago.
Level 2. Kitchen knife and snowflake are off limits.
Ooh boy. Kitchen knife. Now there's an appealing name.
Level 3. Hydroponics is off limits.
You're a scientist and worked on Project Kitchen Knife. I've had some worries about them. Come on. Ooh. Oh wow. Everything's overgrown.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Where are you, John? Without the PDT, I can't track shit.
Hydroponics. Or what's left of hydroponics. The shaft's covered in growth. I'm not going anywhere.
Wait, let me check the blueprints. Yes, hydroponics has a service elevator.
Affirmative.
Keep me in the loop.
Will do. So what's all this? Fans, more fans. Although the fans were installed to keep the air cycling, they're now helping reduce the buildup of vegetation. Okay, there's a body, there's a corpse right here. Edwin Tiang, civilian. Oh, this flavor tech. Wow, look at the size of this thing. I wish the door is a little more, wait. Bright lights indicate the entrance to another laboratory. And this is another one down here. I wish they were a little more forthcoming of where the doorways were. or indicative. Is that monkeys?
This is ridiculous. How did it grow this world in a few months?
You're damn right, my friend. Static field monitor.
These plants can't naturally develop this fast.
Kane developed the technology to accelerate plant growth. Oxygen is big business.
Okay. Kind of makes sense. The vaporizer lies broken beyond repair, wrapped in vines. Ooh, what's this? Oh, vaporizer pad. There's a computer terminal right here. There's a bodies, of course, over in the corner. Report. The vaporizer, the perfected MK5 model of the Kane Corporation Trans-State Modifier. Is that? Yeah, it is modifier. Using advanced and unique molecularization technology, the vaporizer has the ability to shift a targeted substance between gas, liquid, and solid states without any of the structural breakdowns seen in objects shifted between states on a regular basis. The MK5 is the latest model, but doesn't yet being rolled into mass production because of the current difficulty fueling the vaporizer with resources on board the Grooms Lake. Recent equipment undertaken were more than satisfactory. Experiments. And it passed the Kane safety and security test with no adverse effects. I wouldn't be so confident in that Kane security test, but then other people haven't underwent all these difficulties in the game on board this ship. Adverse effects causing harm to user observed. There has been no adverse effects causing harm to user observed. It has been graded level 4 because of the specific nature of its technology and the limited quantity of existing vaporizers. During an experiment recently carried out, the royal jelly produced for hydroponics, Dr. Gray and other observers commented on the remarkable speed at which the jelly was transformed into gas, thus placating their insect population. Interesting. Activate vaporizer.
Vaporizer chamber compromised. Chamber is not airtight.
Okay, so that looks like the first. What's this desk? Cracked glass. The vaporizer has been punctured by a hole, leaving a spider web of cracks in the glass. Oh, is that the vaporizer there? Okay. Vaporizer pad. So I guess we're going to end up doing something with that. Can I put that? Can I put this on that?
I can try to make it fit, but it may break.
I don't want it to break. Oh my. Dr. Sebastian Gray. Oh wow. This seems like there's going to be another long journal entry reading episode. Finally, we have more room for the Lysini Arvi strain, which I've been working on so hard on. It's days like this that humanity truly proves that it's crawled out of the ocean before any other. My section has been expanded. I have more staff. True, but they are drones that have little other function. Now we can expand the research potential of Project Kitchen Knife and use what else these plants can yield. And see what else these plants can yield. The oxygen production rate is quite unlike anything my initial projection could have predicted. Last year became worse kept secret in the Grooms Lake, and all of a sudden I had more interns that I could comfortably employ. Their only function is to stumble about the place and ask troublesome questions that I have little time to answer. If only our world were like that of insects. I have plenty of workers and drones, but none of the unwavering loyalty. Bees work the faith in their queen unquestioning and constant. Kind of loyalty is beyond price. These interns of mine have their uses, I suppose. We always need volunteers willing to get close to the queen. Am I surrounded by incompetence? One of those imbecilic interns got too close to the queen, and she showed him her affection. Quite amusing, though not to him. That means that I must attend another accident debriefing with the board, although Dr. Moran does love to test me. I see him up on the hearing bench, and he grins at me in that supercilious, I think that's how you say it, look that he has perfected over the years. Wow. I suppose that I had to thank him for my current position. I was his recommendation to the board that made him hire me in the first place. Still, I believe he has come to employ these little power plays. He does so little like to keep me under his heel. That, my dear doctor, is only a temporary situation. Once the project is complete, the chess games that we play so often will no longer be our only battleground. Regarding the project, some of the bug eggs failed to hatch properly. I suspect that is why the queen was more aggressive than usual. There are more than enough drones to continue the collection work. Their unique chemical properties are doing wonders for the plants, although I'm running short of interns prepared to work in close proximity to them since the last incident. The worker I appreciate most is Akira. I was astonished to discover that she is related to the legendary Dr. Tenchu of the Eugenics Wars. I did consider mentioning it to her, but I sense she is oddly ashamed to have him as her ancestor. If it wasn't for men like him, our profession would be hollow. Shell, what it is now. Then again, if it wasn't for him, genetics research wouldn't have been put back by several generations. No, wouldn't it? The ethical quandaries we face as men of science. The insects are restless. Rumbles in their aspiraries are more aggressive than usual. My personal deduction is that the presence of the marine thugs aboard the ship are the cause. Armed guards all over the place. I was stopped by one the other day and asked my reasons for going into hydroponics. Well, after explaining I was the head of the damn project, I had the guard removed from his post. And then the ship. This is insanity. How am I to expect to progress with these thugs around? I recall explaining about the inundation of interns. If only I were still here now. Both Ivan and Theodore disappeared from their rooms last night. I had to speak to security about their whereabouts. I definitely sounded like monkeys or something in the background there. They were Akira's assistants, and now the production of the Queen's Royal Jelly has slowed exponentially. That's been a huge blow, but a rather extraordinary anomaly has appeared in our growth pods. A undiscovered strain of fungus. Its origin is something... shit. Back. Okay, yeah. It's appeared in our... these fungal growths fascinate at first. I thought it was a common garden variety mold, but after a substantial analysis performed by Kira, it seems to harbor neuron activity. That is to say, it seems to exhibit rudimentary signs of intelligence. We certainly created some unusual specimens on this deck. The idea of a quasi-intelligent fungus growing and evolving of his own volition is exciting and frankly frightening. I've asked Akira and the remnants of the team to cultivate it, but exhibit caution where it is spread. I was asked by one of Juan's assistants if the fungal substance is growing in the bowels of ship has anything to do with us. I lied, of course, but this is becoming alarming. Our experiments flourished at first. We may have lost more staff recently, but our experiments have been very fruitful indeed. Confidentially, the properties of the fungus is both extraordinary and terrifying. It has the remarkable ability to take control of living subjects' central nervous systems and the hypothalamus, as observed in the monkeys we used to testing. The monkeys shrieked and thrashed in rage for the first few days after it was exposed, and then it became quiet, observant, and uncannily intelligent. It's certainly aggressive, but then again, which viruses aren't? No, we're officially lost control of the deck. Eden now truly belongs to the beast. We've seen strange things. I watched as fungus took control of the deck as it spread through the staff, and much to my shame, I watched their deaths and examined their bodies. Nobody can cross the pods because the bugs are so aggressive that when Solomon went through in a rad suit, they ripped it from his body and stung him to death. It took mere moments. Still, I live in hope that the insects will remember me, their creator, and perhaps see me as one of their own. I'm going to find your body soon, aren't I? Doctor, what's this? My family. I do wish to see Dr. A. Tenchu, Gray. I do not wish to seem unprofessional and impolite, but I would ask that you not press me on the subject of my ancestor any further. I merely refused entry to medical school. I was nearly refused entry to medical school on the basis of my family background. and the torment I suffered at the hands of my school peers regarding my great-great-uncle was unbearable. I am fully aware of his actions. I have seen countless photographs and documents of the consequences of his work. I took the position to change our world for the better, not to be reminded of the skeletons in my family's closet. I enjoyed our working relationship thus far, Dr. Gray. I prefer my family history no longer be a topic of our conversation. Thank you for your understanding. Thank you for understanding, rather. Dr. E.F. Way. I enjoyed our meal yesterday. It was refreshing to hear a man, so I spoke on the ship. I don't know who that is. Appreciate your candor, and I do agree that perhaps time that the board was shaken up a little. Although this is merely observation rather than an action plan, I think the top leadership needs some new blood. I second you. If you decide to take on the challenge yourself, your impeccable scientific pedigree more than qualifies you, by the way. Oh, by the way, did you know that where they were keeping that new cargo? It seems like a waste of resources if they won't even tell us where it is. What the heck is that about? Okay. Can I do anything with this computer? No. It's just like a PDA. Lock the door. Appears to be locked. James Herbert, deckhand. Isn't there two bodies there? Yeah. Kita Yamada, civilian liaison. Anything else I could pick up? Overgrowth. The vines have covered many of the laboratory surfaces. In some areas, walls and floor can't be seen behind the tangled weave. Liquid stains on walls. A green scum has dripped down from the ceiling, staining the walls. Anything else? More grove. So it looks like I gotta find something to seal that. There doesn't look like anything else I could do here. There's a desk. What does it say about this? A small work desk. Okay. Nothing else. Let's go in the other 3 directions I think there is. Looks like we might be running into... How the heck did I get in here? Oh god. Oh, right here. Oh, he can run now. He's feeling better. Yeah, I might be running into monkeys and or monsters and or bugs. Lovely. Oh my!
Are you fucking kidding me?
What?
It's some sort of insect.
Keep your distance.
It's tied up. Doesn't look like it can get loose.
Tied up. How big is it?
Holy shit! Look at that thing. Insect queen. It's difficult to grasp the size and form of this insect creature. Other like... She just made a big happy face at me. Other like protrusions sprout from his bulbous and abdomen like the pincers stabbed air. While pincers stab the air. Restraint harness. This series of struts hold the grotesque creature in place. Milking suction cups. Semi-organic suction cups were custom designed to harvest this creature's secretions. What's this? Hardened amber. Amber trickles from the tree, but most of it is hardened into an incredibly tough compound. Alright. And yet another computer terminal. Milk processor. Oh, gross. Imagine this is where milk really comes from. Milk collection tank. Click what is being milked out of this brute. Let's see what's on the computer then. That's a tree. Hydroponics queen chamber. Healthy, docile, responsive stimuli, milking as normal. No activity. Healthy, height and aggression. Recommended milking with only experienced staff. Highly aggressive. 3 personnel wounded in milking. Healthy, quiet, unusual brooding behavior. Healthy, aggressive. 1 fatality via venom pouches. Okay. The queen's life cycle. Week 30. What? Can I click on this? No. Activate suction pumps. Recyclable stores to process milk. What else was on this computer? Oh, I can't click on it no more. Oh, just a second. Akira Tenchu personal logs. Let's click that milk before I forget it. Oh, wait. No, let's go on the computer because it might not let me back on the computer. Are you going to actually click on... Thank you. There's a sweet spot for that computer in the corner. Oh, praise God Almighty. I couldn't be happier. Oh, praise God Almighty. I couldn't be happier. Dr. Gray took me to one side and told me that I was the only person who had the skill and ability to take control of the nursery. He promoted me on the spot and said, the spider is making some unnerving noises, and now personally responsible for the queen. The royal jelly that she produces has proved to be incredibly useful. I discovered through my own analysis that not only is the jelly an essential nutrient for the insect population, but as other amazing properties too. It accelerates molecular bonding in certain substances. Okay, I probably got to use it on that glass back there to bond it together. Acting as thickener for many natural substances while also regenerating their natural properties. With some engineering, I imagine we could turn this into a true medical breakthrough. I imagine doctors in hospital wards on Earth using our bonding agent to heal wounds instantly. Perhaps finally the Tenchu name will be revered in medical history instead of reviled. The Queen is a temperamental little thing, a fiery lady to be sure. But Queenie, you forget, I grew up in a family of more than one fire-breathing dragon. If I can handle my mother, I can certainly handle you. Ha! Although when she's milked, she's rather docile, I dare say. She's rather attached to me. I'm sure I heard her purring at me. That's the only way I can describe it. I'm aware that she's a bug and all, but it sounded rather like approval. My parents kept hives of bees, so I've never been squeamish over insects. I can tell that difference between aggression and favor. I'm still the only person who can get close without being bitten, and a bite can leave one hell of a mark. Let me tell you, Ogden said that he'll report his side effects upon his return from sick leave. In other news, Dr. Myrick, one of Dr. Gray's subordinates, has requested samples of the jelly for experiments with his tree resins. He thinks it might have a use as industrial adhesive. It's a little way from my original intention, but I do suppose it's a start. I try so hard to be positive, to be the person whose enthusiasm never once flags nor fails. But when you start hearing rumors that appall you to your very core, I try to shrug it off. But recently it's become hard to deny. I've been hearing sounds from the elevator shafts, the sound of a wailing infant crying out in pain before suddenly being silenced. That is no rumor. Sometimes I lay awake at night. I swear I can hear the crying of children. I can't be dreaming. I saw Ingracia to confess my fears. He gave me a prescription to help me sleep, but something in his eyes said that he knew I was hearing something real. And worse, it was something he was hearing too. More rumors. Dr. Moran is using children in his research. Oh boy. I have to ignore it. If it were true, Kane would remove him immediately, surely. Even Dr. Gray appears to find it an uncomfortable subject for discussion. And this is a man who slept easily when Isaac got his left cheek torn off by the Queen. Ooh. Is Dr. Gray short of staff again? Once again, I'm being forced to manage multiple projects. Only this time, it's an examination of an acutely destructive new spore that seems to have infected a few of the pods. First observation, it's a parasitic fungus that grows faster than common weed. And like a common weed, I feel it should be destroyed, but I know that Dr. Gray won't do it. Like many of other senior doctors, sees any new species as something to be exploited or weaponized. In the darkness, something stirs. I can't say what. I'm afraid to find out what it is. When Ivan and Theo disappeared a month back. Do we know a Ivan? I feel like we come across his name before. We assume that somehow deserted. That was the official stance taken by Dr. Milan. Okay. He was talking about those two interns, I think, that disappeared, but I thought we read about Ivan before. Maybe we have. Last night's events proved that there's something on board with us, though God knows where it's from. The Queen was more rambunctious than I ever seen before, and the milking her was certainly more challenging than I'm used to. Edmund was assisting. We've been short on staff, and some of our volunteers are simply refusing to show up for work. The Queen environment has been disturbed a great deal, and so our violent tendencies are more pronounced. Edmund was on his way out of hydroponics when it happened. Something pulled him into one of the air ducts. I didn't see much. I saw him walking towards the decontamination chamber, and next moment, his legs were kicking the air as whatever it was dragged him up into the ceiling while he squealed like a pig. Oh boy, there better not be any banjo music. I'm resigning tomorrow. I did not sign up for mad science. I came to Kang to serve humanity and clear my family name. This seems like the most sensible and sympathetic person we met so far. Or one of the most. Out of the scientists, he definitely seems the most. And watch my crewmates be slaughtered by species that Dr. Moran refuses to confirm or deny. If only I resigned when I said I would. If only I hadn't ignored my demands to have the infernal fungus destroyed. It's growing over me now. Oh wow. Over my skin. It's burrowing into my flesh. The insects attacked again today, and it seems to only worsen. Dr. Gray was destroyed by a swarm of them, and now he's only fertilizer for that ever-ravenous mold he was so curious about. The unaffected are making an attempt to escape. That does include me. The emergency flares keep the bugs away. I told them to give me the flare to hold back the bugs so they can get away. Hope they escape soon. The fungus is making my head feel funny. I'm sure I can feel it growing through my ear canal. Oh, wow. Didn't you... Foolish pranks. What's this? With the greatest respect, could you please stop the ridiculous pranks your group insists on carrying out in the fertilization chamber? I admit they're utterly dangerous, but they are undignified, and I certainly wouldn't like to be present when a cane inspector stumbles upon young Theodore racing in front of the Queen's, hands above his head while shouting, "I'm covered in bees!" It's unprofessional. Please instruct them to cease their foolishness at once. Kind regards. Okay. What the hell is that all about? Don't worry. I don't think that you're losing your mind. Ghosts are a possibility. Oh, is that the doctor? Well, I suspect that you're hearing is perhaps the sounds of his device playing other parts of the ship. I do believe at the moment that the corporeal world and the spirit world are very much divided. So try to calm yourself. If you like to talk to someone in cargo stories about those sounds, but I wouldn't worry about it. This island is full of noises. But pay them no mind, for once I'm quoting Shakespeare and not the Bible. Get some sleep and maybe do fewer night shifts. Eleanor. Alrighty. Interesting. It's really neat that that happy face comes up. She likes me. Please take the milk. What can I use it for? I got a pretty good idea, actually, what I use it for. A tall, strangely shaped tree grows out of the housing space in the floor. Milk from the creature is being fed into the tree by a pair of tubes. If I go over there, I think I'm going to die. Yep. Not going to risk it. Maybe we'll see what happens if, who's this? Edwin Tiong, right. We'll see what's down this way. Oh my. Bees. Where am I? I'm up there. Oxygen collection. What's that? Tank? A soft mechanical insulation sound is audible here, while the tank collects oxygen produced by the room's abundant plant life. A tree? A corpse? Chris Rogers. Where did he come from? Fast spinning fan. A heady beat of mechanical sense through the room. Insect swarm. The hanging vine stretches across the room, the tendrils hanging down like a centipede's legs. You can't tell whether it's wrapped around an existing structure or whether it's traveled the distance on its own accord. Interesting. Another oxygen tank. Buddies. Jim Taylor. I feel like we heard of him. Charles A. Young. Okay, so I think this is it for this one. We'll figure out what we're doing more. We'll figure out more what we're doing, in the next one. Now that we got all this reading out of the way. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the story of this hydroponics deck. It's certainly interesting. This ship has so many problems. There's aliens and fungus and that insect swarm and God knows what else. And then they say their food was compromised as well with drugs and stuff in it, I think they said. So once more, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you later.